Gold is, as normal, still making new highs. Oil has made new highs, and is it going to be going down, or is it just taking a breather, ready to pump up some more to push inflation that little bit more further? The UK 100 managed to bring back some of its losses that it had on Thursday. The S&P 500 also managed to get back some of its losses too. The fear and greed index for today is showing 75, so still greed, but yesterday was then 79, extreme greed. The CNN fear and greed index is back into the greed. Yesterday was neutral. The Bitcoin halving is now sneaking towards the 20th of April. So we're going to have an enjoyable weekend in 2 weeks' time. If you want to be able to have multiple indicators on your TradingView chart, but you just don't want to pay the prices that TradingView wants you to do, then what I suggest is you come over to my GitHub repository, github.com/David Thorne, come to my Pine scripts, and here you can see DJ Thorne Trading Indicators.Pine scripts. Come and copy this code that's in here. And when we go over to TradingView, if you come down to the bottom, come to Pine Editor and basically paste that code once this is finished into this one area and press add to chart. And you can then use my free indicator, which has all of the exponential moving averages, a Bollinger Band, and you can customize it how you want. So yeah, if you don't want to have pay for its subscription or lots of other indicators on the chart, then feel free to use my script free of charge, and you don't have to have a TradingView subscription. Before we move on, my name is David Thorne. This is my channel, and as you can see, I make a whole different array of different types of videos, different types of playlists and so on. So if you do see other types of videos from me and you're not interested in them, just scroll on. Now, if you do want to subscribe to me, then this is obviously the opportunity right now to click on that subscribe button. Other than that, don't forget to like this video. I do make these videos for free. It is my own time. I do them for myself, but if I can see that you can get some form of assistance from it, then that makes me super happy as well. So just take the time out right now. Do me that favor. Just click on that like button. I don't want a cup of coffee. I don't want a Patreon subscription or anything like that. I just want you to click on the like button. That's it. Just before we move on, I want to remind you that I am not a financial advisor. I'm not a professional trader. I'm literally just a guy sat in front of my monitor looking at the Bitcoin price, right? Talking into a microphone, talking about whether it is going to go up and down with regards to my own investment, my own portfolio, or should I say the portfolio from my wife and me as well. So anything that I say in this video is relative to my own investments, but I'm more than happy for you to listen to what I think on a daily basis about our investments. All right. So if you are going to listen in, remember you need to do your own due diligence on prior to making a trade. So don't take what I say in this video as the final decision. You should be making the decisions for yourself. With all of that now out the way, if you haven't watched any of my videos before, then you can come over to this Bitcoin price analysis playlist and you can see all of the other videos that I've made on a daily basis now, talking about what I expect the Bitcoin price to do today and tomorrow. And possibly at the end of the video, I'll talk about where I believe that there are good entry points to get into Bitcoin and possibly any exit points. But right now, we're not making new highs, so we're more talking about entry points rather than exit points. As we can see here currently right now on Saturday, the 6th of April, 10:07 a.m. Central European time, we've kind of like got to the top and our weekly candle is looking like it's going to be a downwards motion. But we still have Saturday and Sunday, the strongest times in the Bitcoin market to go. So it seems to be after hours, as in not when any stock markets are open, is the strongest time for Bitcoin. So what surprises does it have for us over the weekend? We will see. But right now it says we were at the top, and it's not really painting much of a detailed picture of what its expectations are. But for the sake of just talking about this, there's a few ways that this can go. There's actually three. It can go up, it can go sideways, and it can go down. But right now we know that it's got Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening in Europe. A powerful motion that, you know, it gets that sentiment, it gets that momentum, and it could push up. So we could expect it to come and push around here. If it's going to break the 67,550 area, on the evening time, ready for a push up to the upper sides, then we would expect that it take away all of these losses over today and tomorrow, and then push to up above it. Now, I wouldn't expect it to close. I wouldn't expect it to close on a strong candle, but what I would expect, if this is going to be the case, okay, and there's a high likelihood this is not going to be the case, but I would assume that we're probably going to get maybe, like, say, just a candle that looks like that at the end of it. So this will be a wick down here, this will be a wick up here, so we might have that on today and tomorrow, but we will see. If not, then the other side of it is that it is going to pump all the way down probably and meet this the 5 or the 8 EMA. So, or it could just sit exactly how it is. So just be prepared for this. If you start seeing it suck up here, then this is definitely not a buying in time. Okay, so nothing in what I'm saying right here is a buying in time. We'll get to that further into the video. So on a daily basis now, we can, I mean, I don't like drawing these like triangle type things, but all I'm trying to say to you is that there is some form of like converging prices here. They're all coming into the middle. Now, where is this price going to go? Well, there's a high likelihood that it's going to go up. You know, the market is the master. So if we're going to respect the herd, we're going to respect the market, the whole herd, all of the banks, the institutions, the ETFs, all of these people and companies that get into Bitcoin, MicroStrategy, BlackRock, and so on, or Grayscale, are all expecting for the price to go to the moon. So we've got to listen to what the herd says, and the herd says we want to go to the moon, and it has the potential to do that as well. So we can't think like a contrarian right now. We just have to say, okay, we're on the assumption it's going to go up. Now, if we are on the assumption that it is going to go down, then I would say that you shouldn't start ringing any of those warning bells or buy action bells until it hits at least 48,500. At least it fills this one candle, okay? So this would be the sign to say, hey, we are likely going down. And obviously that has then its first, it needs the journey it needs to visit is then here to have any chance of getting there. But if it does hit this one journey, then we would expect it to hit here and here and here. So over today and tomorrow, if we start seeing it spike all the way down, and then we see on Sunday whatever it spikes down, then we should expect it to come and spike this during the week, all right, or next week or whatever. But right now it looks like it's going sideways all the way through up until the halving time, which would be around about the 20th of April, around about here. So we could expect it to go up, down, up, down, up, down here, and then explode after the halving. So be warned that this might go up and down, up and down, up and down. And so really, you only really want to make any assumptions when it breaks out of this range up here or breaks down this range here, because right now it is telling us, market is the master, I'm going sideways, I'm going in a range, and I'm going to converge here to make everyone confused and impatient. Let's go into the 4-hour timeline. It's pretty much telling the same picture right now. So I'm not going to spend too much time on this because it's literally coming on a range. And yes, we could see the price go up here, and it could hit up here, but then there's a high likelihood it comes back down again and comes to here, and then comes up here and comes down here and comes up here. And I'm not being pedantic here, I'm being kind of serious. You know, we're seeing that the 200 and 300, they are moving together. We are seeing a consolidation of price here, because the 5, the 18, the 15 and the 50 have all consolidated now to nearly just going sideways. So I would expect the 200 to come and meet these four EMAs, sorry, over this time. So just stay patient, stay vigilant, and like I said, you shouldn't really be like making any assumptions until it breaks at least 66.2. If it can break 66.2 and stay above it, then there are signs that we've got an upward movement. But if it can't even break this 64.8 area, then if it comes up to there and comes back down again, then we should expect it to come and test these lows again. So don't get excited just because of this. if it can push through 63,900 quite easily, and then it can push through 64,900 and then go up even higher, then start getting excited. But before then, literally don't get the popcorn out, leave it in the package, leave it in the cupboard. Nothing is going to happen apart from sideways. Now, that is the same thing on the bottom side. If it comes down and breaks basically 60,000, then expect like 69,000, 67, 68,000, and then 66,000, 65,000, and so on. So it's the same thing. Whichever way it's going to go, it's got to break these one boundaries. But the likelihood is we'll talk about that tomorrow. Okay, I don't see it happening today. I'd say that we're going to stay in this range today. I could be wrong. If I am wrong, then good. We've got a more exciting Sunday. If not, then we'll just talk about it tomorrow. Okay, but right now I'm not getting excited about it. So the 1 hour chart, literally we're going to repeat ourselves on the 1 hour chart. I only see, I mean, right now, if we're looking at a little bit more detail, it looks like it's trying to break this zone, right? Well, what let's talk about this more when we go down to the 15 and the 5. But if it tests this, then comes and tests it again, it needs to break through, and that would then need to break through this. But we will see the bigger picture here now. But the one thing before we do move in, we see that the 50, sorry, the 5, the 8 and the 15 are above the 50. So that's a one positive note, and they're coming to cross the 200 and the 300. Now they need to have a good cross. They're not going at right slope. They need to be more going at like this previous slope to go up and then come back down again. So they very much got this like sideward-ish motion. So until we start seeing the 5, the 8 and the 15 spread away from each other, and I mean like this, literally just like moving away from each other the whole time. Like I said, leave the popcorn in the cupboard, and yeah, don't put any of the drinks on ice. So on the 30, well, so we now see that the 30, all of the smaller averages are moving above the 200 and the 300, right? So we do have a little bit more of a slope right now. So we could, based upon this, on the smaller time frames, we could think about getting the ice out of the freezer, but it's still not enough. There's not enough volume here. Look, these are all light candles. There's no volume here at all. So it means that if anything is going to happen, there are not a lot of people getting involved in this. So it tells you that it's a dead market. Look, red and green here and blues. This is lots of volume. So we see lots of people getting involved in this. So don't get excited about this. This is not an active market. This is not a market with lots of volume here. It's just the normal price going up and down. So let's move into the 15, and we see that the blue candles, there's been a bit more volume here than what it was normally, but this is like a tiny range, like 62.9. This is nothing. Just ignore this. It's just noise, all right? This is the type of movement we want to see if you want to go up, but big candle wicks at the top. This just goes to show that there was lots of volume, but there was lots of selling pressure here. So we should expect either that if it tries to break through this price range again up here, we should expect this is either very, very strong selling power here. And we saw also that there was strong selling power here. Blue candle says that it's strong. Not, I mean, a red and a green candle shows it's really strong. But these light green candles and these other light greyish candles, they're not strong, okay? But this blue one is kind of strong. And we saw there that there was also selling power here too. All right, and that in the end, yes, the buyers won that candle, but there was still strong selling power. And if we keep going on this, we can see, look, strong selling power. The price managed to move all the way up, but the selling was so strong it went to go down. So on that note, this is where it gets really interesting. Okay, when you start repeating yourself, saying there was lots of selling here. So the question is when does the selling run out, right? Are there enough sellers here to keep moving this price down? But see, if the sellers suddenly disappear and there's only people buying, where can the price go? The price can only go up, because if the next batch of people are saying, I'm going to sell here, then it means and no one is selling here anymore, because they all know, wait a minute, we can sell up here. Then it means that the price of Bitcoin is going to go up really quickly, back up to 63,500 roughly, right? And that paints the same picture here. If there are huge amounts of sellers waiting here to sell off, we should expect to see the price rocket straight back down again, right? But if they aren't selling there, which I expect they will be selling there, okay, I expect there's going to be a huge amount of selling here. If there isn't, then we should expect the price to come moving all the way up to here. And I would assume, I would assume there's going to be horrendous amount of selling here. I mean, absolutely horrendous. This part here, there's no liquidity here whatsoever, all right? It's going to be all here. So we're going to see this big green candle spike straight up to this, and I'd expect it to go sideways here and then boom back down again. Now, if the buying power is strong here and there's a lack of sellers and the next bunch of sellers are up at this green line, this 66.2, we should assume that it would go straight up to 66.2 again, right? But above there, what other selling is there? There's no other selling. You're nearly on to price discovery here, all right? So we would assume once again that there is going to be huge amounts of selling up at this line, up at 66 here. So just be warned about this. You know, let's come out to the timelines as well. You have to know where the sellers are and you have to know where the buyers are. Don't start drawing these crazy triangles and all sorts of stuff, because you might as well just go and sit outside on the balcony and read the stars. It's exactly the same thing. Economics 101. Look where the buyers are and look where the sellers are. They are the people that you should be listening to. If there's no buyers, then the price is going to drop, all right? If there's lots of people selling, and lots of people buying and they all agree upon the same price, then the price is going to go sideways, all right? Until there is some imbalance in between the buyers and the sellers. So let's move all the way down now into the 5-minute market and see how that looks, right? We can see that we're not really getting excited here. We've got this standard movement, but you can see the candles, the green and the red candles. There's some volume here relative to this, but I mean, let's face it, to get a high average volume, you've got a pretty low one here. So we can see that we've got some movement going up. So following the market here says we've got some movement up and it's making new high pivot points, right? And the lower pivot points are getting higher and higher and higher. So this is something to watch out now, is that this could move nicely up to this green line up here, and we could see if it can break. I mean, look, you've got kind of like supply zone there. There was a lot of selling there. There was a lot of selling here. We can see there was a lot of selling there, which we just talked about already. We already shown that there was a lot of selling there, and that includes this one here, but it looks like there was not enough buying, so the price has gone down again. Now, this blue candle here, there's still possible liquidity here that needs to be gone through. So, and as we see right now, we've got this reduction in price going down. So we would assume that if there are no buyers here, we would assume that the buyers are not in this green candle either, because I would assume that the buyers are somewhere down here. So we could see, well, there's also definitely buyers there, all right? So we would see the price push through this green candle and then probably bounce on this, and if it's got some strength to go down, it will go down. Otherwise, it will come and meet this supply zone here, right? Well, this supply zone as well here. So it looks like we've got some downward motion here, and then finally, if it comes all the way through, we should expect some. There's a little bit of buying here, but we can see that there was a lot of buying there to keep the price above 62,000. So these are different things that you need to look at, and you know, this is really short term now. So you could be looking all the way through to say like 5 o'clock or 6:30, and obviously if you're trading after 6:30, you shouldn't be, because Borussia Dortmund are playing at 6:30, so make sure you turn your screen off then. So basically this is all I've got. So, oh, there we go, there's the move. That's what I was waiting for. You see, we see lots of volume, so purple, and we might go red. Let's go to the 1 minute time frame for this. This is the type of action we're looking for, right? we want to see where the liquidity is. We want to see where the price moves quickly, and the price moves quickly when there's no liquidity, right? When there's no one buying or selling, it just moves straight through, and the price will stop or reverse when it meets lots of liquidity. And we can see here, look, the green candle, it just zoomed straight through here, but there had a reversal here. So there were people selling up here or people buying down there. So always look for these pivot points. These pivot points are painting you a picture of where the price is going. And we can see now the 5, the 8 and the 15 are all moving down. So the market says it's going down only if it can get through this support zone. And we see green candles now. So you see lots of buying. And so we would expect this price to go back up because we've saw, look, there's lots of buying here. It's created now another support zone. But the question is, can this red candle go through? If this red candle turns maroon or then turns purple and then turns red, I would expect it. But right now, this candle cannot get through this zone, right? This is heavy buying there. So, and this is not, there's no volume in this candle whatsoever. So we know that it's going to try and reverse in this green candle. That's what these green candles do. It's going to try and come up, but the green candle went up and then come back down again. So I would expect that this could be a quick correction up to around about here, so like 62.8 or something, and then from there it would decide whether it's going to go up to test this region or come back down again to retest this support zone. Remember, the more it tests this support zone, the more it bounces. I like to call it like a bouncing ball. The more it bounces the ball right here, the more the less the people are buying, right? There's the buying pressure was strong here, and it weakened. Now, if the buying power, if the real buyers are waiting here patiently until the selling power is not so strong anymore, then they'll buy here. Or they've just been buying here, and then finally they buy huge amounts, and that overrides the selling power, pushing the price up. Otherwise, if the buyers are just not there whatsoever, and then you would expect the price to go all the way down. So really, your indication is when it diminishes, and then suddenly we see either this huge candle down the bottom. But don't be fooled by these areas where it spikes down. This is just people assuming that the price is going to go back up. Let it test the area. Let the power diminish over times and so on. So, but as you can see here, look, that green candle, these green candles here, they showed us the pattern. They showed us that it came down with no volume. The volume increased on the selling. There was no volume on this green candle, a bit more here, and then boom, there's the support. And the support came in afterwards as well. Like, that's the cavalry came in. And now we can see, look, low volume going up, which means there's no sellers, right? If the price is moving up, there's a limited amount of sellers. And if a light green candle can move up quickly, that means there's no sellers. It's just pushing through the price as easy as anything. It's like a knife going through warm cheese. It just slides through easy. A hard block of concrete needs a chisel. It needs real power to get through. And that is when there's lots of volume, and there's lots of people in that one area fighting for the same price, right? And everyone's agreeing about the same price. You need at one point one of them to break. You need one of them to give in, and then it just goes through. And that's what happens on these areas, is when the price action, that one of the buyers or the sellers, they're gone, and it will move then. All right. So with that said, I hope these videos are of any use to you. They are of a lot of use to me, to be honest with you, because on a daily basis I use this analysis a lot. As you can see from my channel, I am a programmer, so I like thinking very pragmatically. I like thinking very technically as well, and I like analyzing things in fine detail. All right, so if you have enjoyed this video, if you have got something out of this video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment, do whatever it may be. Because as long as you've got something out of it, that's the only thing that I care about. All right. So with that said, I hope you have a nice morning, at lunchtime and afternoon. Don't forget at 6:30, Borussia Dortmund are playing Stuttgart here in Dortmund. So make sure you're not trading, get the TV on and support Borussia Dortmund in this one game. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in tomorrow's video. There will not be another video today. Ciao, ciao, and goodbye.